Alright, good morning, welcome here back in Race League. So, I figured this morning would be a good idea to do an update video. I was doing this last night after I got back home from my little trip this whole last week after I ran the last race on Tuesday at Portland. Also, I will say I did just run a 96 race for Dover last night. I was too tired after the race to actually get the stuff posted because I was just worn out from all of last weekend. Yeah, so I had a July 4th time with some of my family. Funny enough, a third of the Cup roster was actually at that party. All the Bartletts, Turners, William, Bounds, then Anaya, then a new driver added onto his list. But yeah, so I had all go this weekend. That's why there really wasn't much racing stuff going on. Also, we were kind of in the final month of racing at my current house before I move, and I did already have some of the announcements already come out, but I figured I'd talk about a couple other small updates too. Because first off, there is some more add-ons to the Cup Series roster going into Chicagoland tomorrow. I did get those add-ons in while I was down there in my aunt's house. Also, I'm working on some things for next year. So first off, I will say it was actually my boss, Alex, who is in the series, who gave me the idea, which could kind of work a little bit, kind of doing a secondary series starting next year, kind of like the Xfinity series. I actually did this back in the day. Do you remember the videos I did about the Lost Truck Series seasons I had? I basically did a video or something like this before in the past with the year-long format, although it doesn't really count towards the year-long stuff anymore with the truck series because I never kept it going. I only really had like 2-3 years of it really kind of kept up with the league. And after 2017, it wasn't really kept up, so I can't like go through, make up more seasons for that to actually add on along with it, make it to where they go to the Xfinity cars eventually with all that too. But I've had a secondary series before too, especially in the BMR era. The Gen 4 series was a secondary series to the Cup series, stuff like that. Also, I'm still running that COT season 2 for the falls. Well, I have the schedule made for that. I don't remember if I posted it or not. I do have the roster kind of already thought out for how the cars would be picked for it. I'd say too. But anyway, this is more year long format stuff here anyway. So first off, I will say we are back to 33 cars at Chicagoland. So the roster is kind of getting a good few more cars in it for starting Chicagoland. And also too, I'm all long work for next year. I already have like a list for the drivers to be running in the secondary series and the Cup series already kind of made for who's currently in the list. Nobody really knew from where I'm moving to just yet. Mainly people around here, and yeah, that's really where I am with the entire roster and stuff. And I did run Chicago Lane practice last night. I will go ahead and say too, I will probably voluntarily start last in that race because I don't know why with the current difficulty of Chicago Lane on the game for the automatic. It's basically making me about almost a second faster than the field, so I'm just gonna voluntarily start last in that race. Try to work my way through the field without getting wrecked or causing any wrecks because the game loves making me cause wrecks a lot, obviously. And I'll try to keep the race chill there. And I'm going to try to not win the race, I will say, because I want that championship battle in the Cup Series to actually happen, and not me mess everyone up in the points. So anyway, I do want to go through the roster here a little bit because there are some updates to the roster a little bit, not many, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and look at this real quick. So in the roster here for the Cup Series, there are 2 drivers added in going into Chicagoland. Grant Green is back, so my friend Kierton, so Grant actually works with us too at my work or whatever currently. So Kierton's like, he knows something about NASCAR. You should add him in. And funny enough, I never told Kierton he was already actually in the series, and I guess he never really fully knew he was in the series. He was in the front at Daytona early on in the year, and I added him back in. I found where his last earned points were in the last race he ran, and I just put those points in for him, so he'll be kind of still in the bottom of the barrel in the points, though, a little bit. I think just ahead of Rick Johnson behind William there in the points is where he was after Michigan. So it's been like 4 or 5 races he last ran, and he'll be back in the series here. Kylie Markham's not back yet, and other drivers like that probably won't want to be coming back into this field. I know Kylie's questionable for next year if she was somehow able to return, but I kind of doubt it, especially with Camp Racing Incorporated's roster, because I did also announce too that Trinity Wells in the 81 would be going to Camp Racing Incorporated next year. So this is actually her 2026 scheme technically, but with some of the changes, especially since I'm planning on doing the next gen cars now next year, as long as I get good paint scheme templates, this scheme will just run for her for some of the seasons. His racetrack will bounce to the 81, and I am planning Alexis Fraser to actually be the 4th CRI driver. I'm just waiting it out to see if I really want to do it or not. And she'll actually have public starting next race on this 41 car. She's run this one more race this season so far. for the summer stretch here. And then Kira Strickland, she was another new add-on last week. She actually I think was third or fourth at Portland, so she had a good run at Portland actually last week. Um, one more added on driver, so not going really into borrow stuff. I did fix up some of their ratings to make them a little better too, honestly, because they were a little lower in the ratings. Ivy Noble, so this is actually Nia J's brother, and also I will fix Nia's name to be her real name next year. So I actually got to meet them for the first time in about 5 years, actually during this entire trip I went on. So I was going to add Ivy to the roster because funny enough, I thought Nia was not old enough yet to run in the league full time in Cup. Well, it turns out she's the same age as William Bounds, actually about 7 months older, about to be 13. Yeah, so I added her into the roster. Of course, she was added in last year part time, then ran full time this year. And Ivy, he's actually just above the age. Actually, he'll be 10 this year too. So yeah, adding on some more family members to the CRL roster here. Actually, I need to go through this. I need to make it like a little roster by itself to just put the Campbell, Bartlett, Bounds, whatever family, just have all the cars in one picture to have posted for everybody in it, because I did make a comment last night about actually having a third of this roster actually be family from mainly that side of my family, not really my mom's side anymore, really. But yeah, it is really cool though, and it'll be cool to have Ivy in running in the rest of this season, and he'll likely be in the secondary series next year. I'm planning on really most of the part-time drivers, unless they end up like winning somehow, to not run Cup full time next year. They can run part time. And also, too, if I do the Xfinity Series, yes, I will allow Cup drivers run part time. I do plan on a lot of the main teams actually having at least one Xfinity car that is kind of designated for a part time slot in the field for just the drivers to go out there and run and maybe earn owner points, of course, too. Yeah, I guess of course, me, I'll be wanting to run the races down there. I think I could definitely see Jay Cerner running a lot of Xfinity races too. So yeah, a lot of the drivers who could win a lot will probably end up going down there and winning some races just to get the win list up some, and of course you'll have your regulars too. That will find who they are later on this year. And I think that's really about it for this video. I didn't want it to be too long of an update video, and like I said, I was really just worn out yesterday from all stuff. So like I said, hanging out with basically a third of that entire Cup roster, and a lot of them got me beat after that whole entire trip. Anyway, so Chicagoland, I will run tomorrow. I will likely post that result of the 96 race tomorrow, or I might just try to get the race winner picture real quick, and then I'll just do the points real quick here before I have to leave this morning for a work meeting, and I'll probably get it posted sometime today, hopefully. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching the video. Anyway, if you did all the way, just doing few quick updates. Sorry, a little voice stutter there. But yeah, just a few quick updates here this morning, since I know I don't really do updates like this a lot. And thank you for watching if you did all the way. I know usually I don't do this a lot either. People don't usually watch them. But anyway, this is Kev Kim with K League signing out, and I'll see y'all in the next one.